Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, they do. Why do they do that, though? Welcome to the podcast. Oh, no, girl, yes. How you doing, girl?
I'm great.
I feel like I'm great, too. We're claiming it today. Hopefully, y'all are great. You have tuned in.
I love the weather. The season is changing.
And we haven't discussed this. Fall is my favorite season.
Right.
Where are you on that?
I love fall. I don't have a favorite season. I just love when they change. You know what I mean? Like I'm in it, and then I'm like, okay, next. And fall, like by the time I'm ready for it to change, it does.
Fall's number one, obviously for football, but I like to dress in layers.
I love the fashion, the layers.
The fashion. I love that the mosquitoes are chilling out a little bit. Yeah. Allergies are chilling out. You're not sweating your eyebrows out as soon as you go outside. Mm-hmm. It feels peaceful. It's almost like non-weather. Fall is when I don't have my air conditioning on or my heat on. It's like my bills drop.
Yeah.
It's just fall is that time where it's just like, it just feels like outside. You know what I'm saying? It's almost unremarkable. It's like, it's not cold. It's just outside. Mm-hmm. And that's how it should be, just outside. So
we have a very long fall season here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goes well till December.
I'm here for it. I'm here for all of it. So hopefully you guys are having a great time in life right now. However you figure out how to do that. We are always consciously and unconsciously trying to figure out ways to have a better life. And so we come up with new stuff every other day. Right now it's fall. Oh, and my new frames. Shout out to You Fancy Optical, Black women owned. Shout out. All right. So I'm a big fan of, YouTube, Patreon, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff, the business of the day. Okay, now let me jump into this. So y'all know, or you might not know, she knows, all my friends on TikTok that I don't know, they take up a good portion of my day. And I come across stuff that's good information for me. I've bought so much stuff because somebody made a TikTok video about it. I've looked up other things because of TikTok videos. So I'm really into TikTok. I don't really post that much, but I love it. I came across this video on TikTok where this woman was playing some voice messages from a guy, voice text from a guy who basically, she turned down, I guess, his offer of offering him fellatio. Mm-hmm. And then he just started leaving her these messages after she didn't talk to him no more. Now, the messages were, how would you describe the messages? I don't necessarily want to, I might put one of the messages in. Let's put one of the messages.
Maybe a couple. Okay, maybe a couple so they can get the gist.
Like y'all get the gist. Listen to this. This is from TikTok.
No, I just don't really think you have enough self-esteem to like stop texting me or not pull up. So, I mean, you could prove me wrong, but yeah. I think that you have a degradation kink. I think that you're enjoying my attention, just the simple fact of getting my attention. And I think that if I continue doing what I'm doing, you're gonna eventually do what I want you to do. Because, I mean, shit, you can't do shit else for me, so you might as well do the only thing I'm asking. I think that you're starting to realize that this has nothing to do with me being insecure or nothing like that. I genuinely feel like this. I genuinely feel like I can talk to you like this. I genuinely feel like you don't have the self-esteem to do shit about it. And I mean, I genuinely think you'll fucking do what I want you to do if I just keep treating you like shit. Because I genuinely think you have a kink for being treated like shit.
Okay, so what did you feel listening to that?
I felt like I honestly felt like he was slightly disturbed. The fact that he kept saying, well, you're not blocking me, so I'm gonna, like, it's like, what are you thinking?
Like you must like me being this disrespectul because
so I'm just gonna keep it going, and I'm gonna keep calling, and I'm gonna keep leaving these messages and trying to punch your self-esteem, or do all this stuff. And it seemed unnecessary. It seemed very childish. And I was disturbed listening to it. It kind of made my flesh crawl a little bit.
It's very disturbing. Now, like I said, this is from a TikTok video. I think the person who actually posted it wasn't to them. They got it from someone else as well. So, third or fourth time. But we've played a episode before. I think it was the Pizza Hut episode where a man left a rambling, deranged message to you. Yeah. I have never had a man leave that type message. In and of itself, when you feel like a man has gotten to a point where he just needs to record himself ranting on you, it's already disturbing. It kind of don't even matter what he's saying. Mm-hmm. It's already kind of like, okay, either I have already stopped answering the phone and that's why you're doing this, or there's nothing else for us to say and you want to try to have the last word and try to hurt my feelings because I've already hurt yours. But in this particular messaging, I felt disturbed because I felt like this particular idiot articulated what guides a lot of men's movement. Most men probably would not ever say that out loud to the person they are trying to have some kind of situation with. But in listening to it, it made me think, is this what men are thinking when they pursue certain women? And also, is that how they perceive women in general who are single? Do they perceive us as insecure and low self-esteem and lonely
and desperate and really wanting that person to be disrespectful because, you know, eventually I'm going to wear down and I'm going to give you what you want because, you know, you were just persistent and being mean to me. And now I just want you to be my friend. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I think there are men out there. That's the most disturbing part about it. When I was listening to it, because I think there are men out there who actually think like that.
Right.
And use that as a way to, you know, conquer, I guess.
Unfortunately, I think there's a lot of men who think like that now. And I think that's what I'm saying. I think for a man to articulate it, that's a different level of a sociopath. But I think a lot of men pursue women who they think need them. We've talked about that before. Women who they think they can save. So that means they've deemed that woman somehow they think that woman is a lesser quality, maybe because of her financial situation, maybe because she's a single mother, maybe because of where she lives, maybe because of what kind of car she drives, maybe because of her weight, maybe because of a lot of different things where a man might say, oh, okay, she needs me. She's going to stick around. And so when a woman says, no, I'm good, for this particular person to articulate to this woman, you know what? You ain't blocked me. You know, it's almost like, you know, you teach people how to treat you. I don't know who this woman is that he left these messages to. But one of the things that we always talk about as far as self-love, self-care, and doing for yourself is it does set the tone for all your interactions with everybody in the world. So if you don't care about yourself, you give the impression that's okay. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder how many Black women, and I'm speaking about Black women only because I am one, but women in general, how many of us are giving the impression that we don't care for a myriad of reasons, right? That someone might think, oh, well, they don't care. It might be how dirty your car is.
Right. No, a very good point. My mom talked about me one time because I kind of live in my car. It's not as bad as it used to be. And I definitely try to make it like, if I'm meeting somebody, I try to, you know, tidy up a bit. But my mom was like, what man is going to want you if he walks by your car right now and looks in? She said that years ago. I was like, you know what, you might be right.
That's an example of, I don't know.
If you walk into someone's house, a dirty house, a filthy house versus something that's spotless, are you going to feel as bad leaving your McDonald's cup on the table? In a filthy house,
when you walk into somebody's house and it's clean, you're like, "Ooh, do I need to take off my shoes?
Exactly.
Ooh, let me wash my plate." Because you see how they move. Yeah.
I think when it comes to women, and I may have given this impression too at some point, and I don't believe it's an intentional thing that we present. You know what I mean? Like the don't care or whatever. You know. So I'm trying to think of an example where I may have given that impression that I didn't want more for myself.
Well, I think I give that impression a lot because I'm not pressed, right? And so sometimes not being pressed can come off as you don't care, right? So I'm not pressed about talking to you every day. Do I care if I talk to you regularly? Yes. You know, I'm not pressed about XYZ. You know, one of the things I'll talk about with health and wellness, okay? So I think all of us talk about wanting to be healthier. We all have consumed a lot of people who aren't healthy or sick or whatever. I think when I look at my health goals, there's not a certain number on the scale, but I always say when I'm talking to myself, like, come on, let's do this. I want to look intentional. I want to look like this is how I'm trying to look versus this is just how I am right now. Right now, I feel like I look like, well, this is how I look right now. You can see some people, and it's not that they're skinny or small, but you can tell they work at looking the way they look, whatever that is. And that's my desire. So I feel like when I see a person looking intentional with their body, I make certain assumptions about their diet. I make certain assumptions about their scheduling. I make certain assumptions about their lifestyle based on them looking intentional with themselves. Same thing with fashion. When you see somebody dressed all the time, they're communicating some intentionality about that moment, right?
Right.
And so when I put on whatever to go to Walmart, because I don't care, I don't want nobody dealing with me like they shouldn't care about everything that has to do with me.
Right.
Regardless of the fact that I might put that out there.
Right.
And so I think sometimes women, we're not pressed. And it is processed by low self-esteem men as, oh, well, you know, she don't care about herself. You know, I can take her to McDonald's because she eat McDonald's with her kids.
The key to that is the low self-esteem man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the common denominator here. The way this guy sounded in these voice messages, he definitely sounded like he needed that assurance, like he was trying to convince himself of something.
Right.
And in fact, he actually seemed very desperate. I thought that was very weird.
Because why would he keep sending her these messages? She's not responding. She's not replying. And it's like, and
his feelings were hurt. His feelings were hurt. That was it. She said she refused to do something sexually that he wanted. And she had not talked to him for days. So now his feelings are hurt.
And so he got to let her know how she ain't worth nothing.
It's almost a dangerous thing. It's almost dangerous for him to even think that, you know.
No, it's not almost dangerous because guess what? He's going to come across the right, wrong one that sees that as attention and sees that, well, why he keep calling?
But that's why it's dangerous. That's why it's dangerous. And I think the whole thought process is dangerous because it can lead to other things. Like, how dare you say you're not going to do this for me? Yes, you are, you know. Right.
And then that comes into a lot of dangerous, violent behaviors where, you know, even if we said something as extreme as rape, most of the time when men, especially famous men, are accused of rape, people say he don't have to rape nobody. And rape is not about them being able to have access to sex. It's the same thing if you're married.
It's about taking something that wasn't yours.
Right. It's a power thing. So a lot of times, you know, I was just reading about how domestic rape or spousal rape wasn't even a thing on the books until like the 60s or 70s, that was even recognized that you could be raped by your spouse. And so I think when you have a person that you see from these voicemails, from these voice texts, it seems not really have a real basis of a relationship. And he feels like he has found a woman who he feels like he can target her self-esteem, again, for whatever reason of whatever her life situation is or whatever she has presented to him. If he's so great, why would he even want to deal with her if her self-esteem is so low? Like, what does that say about you being a person that you're going to degrade this person and talk about they don't have no low self-esteem? And if you had self-esteem, you would already blocked me or you wouldn't even be taking these messages anymore. What does that say about you, sir? Like you going for low-lying fruit according to you. You know, and so I think men don't articulate this thought, but they have this thought. And so by the time they throwing you breadcrumbs, by the time they treating you any kind of way, they thinking, oh, you doing good. And that's another thought that we were talking about last week, is about how women enjoy our own company somehow in a way that it seems men don't enjoy their own company. So they always threaten us with a good time, like you gonna die alone. We were like, if I can work that out to make sure.
Well, it's either that side or they think that when I'm not dealing with you, I have to be with somebody else because God forbid I'm sitting at home on my couch eating ice cream.
Right. God forbid I'm somewhere having a good time and you're not involved. But a lot of it is because they go from woman to woman to woman because when they get quiet, they get lonely. And so we like, listen, I'm on my glow up. You know, I'm writing a book. I started a business. I'm working out. Like when I get by myself, I get clear and focused on me in a healthy and positive way. And it's only a lot of times when we date people do we get distracted from ourselves. So when men say, well, that's why you lonely, it's like alone and lonely are not the same things. And it's a lot of women who are in relationships who are lonelier than women who are not. Because the impression is that someone's there and they're not. The impression is that you have a partner and you don't. The impression is someone has your back and you see daily that they are actually the enemy. You are sleeping with the enemy. Whereas as a single, and as we always say, as happy singles, we are clear and sure about who we are. And then we always are working to figure out how we can be an even better version of that for ourselves but then also in the context of a partnership. So when someone is targeting a partnership, so when someone is targeting who they deem as low self-esteem or insecure, is generally a projection of their own insecurities.
Yep.
So if you could say something like leave that particular man a voice text, what would you say?
Oh, okay. So let me be clear that I would not leave him.
I know we would not. But if you could, if you say, sir, I got your number, just wanted to leave you this.
Well, see, if I could, then I would probably write something out. So it'd be much more well thought out than what I would come up in this moment. But it would be something along the line. I would tear him down. It would be something along the lines of focusing on his own insecurities. And it would get very personal real quick. Yeah. You
know what? I just thought of what I would say. And I remember I said this to a guy one time that I connected with on Bumble. We had swiped, we spoke on the phone, and he kept saying, well, I don't care. I mean, I don't even know you. I don't care. He kept saying, I don't care. And I was like, okay, I know we don't know each other, but the next morning when we were talking again, he called again, and I didn't think it was a love connection, but it was an interesting conversation. He said the thing, I don't care again. And I said to him, who hurt you? Hung up on me and blocked me.
Yeah.
So that's probably the message I would just leave him. Who hurt you?
Right.
Because men get offended if you ask who hurt them, because they obviously acting out of pain. Okay. But if you ask them, who hurt you? Because it's almost like I'm showing compassion, like this is pain talking. You are broken, you are hurt. And then not only are they upset that they thought they weren't being vulnerable and you've seen through that this is a scared little boy, by the time they tell you who hurt them, and as we said before, it might go back 20, 30 years to when they was 8, to when they was 12, when they was 16, they first marriage, they broken engagement, whatever it is. Somebody hurt them to where now they feel like, okay, well, I will. And we do that. I know I've done it recently where because I got the answers wrong in past situations, I didn't figure out the formula and I'm still getting the answers wrong because it don't match the question. So they coming out swinging at women who ain't swung at them because somebody hurt their feelings before.
Right. The same thing.
Now they want to feel like they're in a position of power. But any man who wants a low self-esteem woman
got problems, major problems.
You don't feel that good about yourself. Like, why would I want a man that, shoot, I don't even know how to articulate. Why would I want a man that I felt could not do better than me? I don't even understand. Like, how do I even?
Yeah.
I've dated men who were insecure. I've tried to date men who did not feel like they deserve me. And I've learned a long time ago, you cannot convince someone they deserve you. For whatever reason they feel that, whether it's insecurity or because they know they ain't in real life, they will activate things that you can see. They really don't think they deserve me because the way they act, it ain't like a man that would deserve me. And you can tell the difference when you meet a man and you converse with this person. You be like, you know what? You might actually deserve me. Like, and I deserve you. That's a new different place. But if you repeatedly leaving messages to a so-called low self-esteem woman who you are convinced wants to be with you, that you would want to be with, because that's why you keep saying, I'm gonna keep doing this because this is what you want and this is what you gonna want to be with. It's like, brother, think about being interesting and funny and compassionate and caring and attractive.
Right.
Attract a woman versus being the biggest asshole you can be because you getting off because you think this is what a woman wants, is to be treated poorly.
Check yourself. Because
that also goes to last week's episode with we want a more playful, authentic relationship. A lot of men in the comments from that video were, oh, y'all can't take nobody respecting you. Oh, y'all want to be treated bad. See, this is why women get what they deserve. And it's like, that ain't what we saying.
That's not that.
I want to be treated poorly. But we do want an authentic connection. We don't want to be pretending.
And authentic can be whoever you are. You know what I mean? Or should be whoever you are. And that's the main thing. You know what I mean? If you're not this genuinely concerned, overly emotional, and attached person, then don't try to play me like you are.
Right.
Be who you are.
Right.
and let me accept you for who you are. And if I can't, then that's my problem, not yours.
Right.
You know?
And I think
so authenticity does not look like, oh, hello, queen. You know, that's not authenticity for everybody. It might be for somebody.
Right.
And if that's you, like we said last week, I had somebody call me queen and Grand Rising, and I thought he was maybe being his authentic self, but that wasn't for me. So it was no need of me continuing communicating with him.
Right. And even if someone isn't the stereotypical or the dreamy type person, yourself included, right? There is some connection that is formed from someone seeing you kind of at your worst and still being there. Some connection is like, wow.
There is.
Okay, you know what? This person has kind of seen me lose it, and they're still here. Not because they like abuse or they like for things to be negative or bad, is that they like you. And they realize that both of you come with stuff that sometimes it's going to be like, well, that probably ain't my best part, but I still like you.
Right.
So, but a man, ladies, if you are dealing with anybody who you feel is, and we all have insecurities, we all have things we want to work on, we all have things that keep us up at night, we all have great plans of who we could be if we really honed in. So it's not about that. But if someone is degrading you based on maybe an insecurity you have shared or one they perceive, that is not the person for you.
Right.
If a person is not attached to your greatest self and is not encouraging your greatest self, that ain't the person. One of our listeners shared with me once that she wasn't dating this guy, but they were building a friendship. And this guy he said in jest, you know, that's why he prefers to date women who don't have relationships with their dads, because a woman who had a dad in her life, standards are too high. That's not a joke. That's not funny. And I got so upset about it because it's like, who even says that out loud though? Because if
who
you
even thinks that, first of all?
Who thinks it? But girl, I'm okay with people thinking stuff and we just know not to say it. Okay. But the fact that you would articulate this is like, what does this say about you that you want someone who is used to being mistreated or used to not having affection? Like,
that's why I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem that you even think something like that. That's horrible.
No, it's definitely a problem to think.
I'm judging you.
But that's what I'm saying. When someone articulates the part that you're like, so that's what I'm saying. Listening to those voice texts, I'm sure a lot of men feel the way that guy feels, but who would actually say it? And the fact that you would say it, and not even just say it at a barbershop with your boys, like, because that would be crazy. But to actually leave these voice messages to this woman is like, this is a different level of insanity. Just different level. Because I know I've had plenty of thoughts that I would never articulate because I know I would sound crazy. And a lot of them I do articulate, and I
articulate most of mine too. They're pretty bad too. So
that's what I'm saying. I get that people think things, you know, I get that part.
But it's the predatory behavior of that. That's the predatory thought of, you know, that just seems kind of awkward.
That's the issue. The predatory nature of saying that to a person and thinking this person, and again, we don't know this woman, so we're praying that she didn't respond and we're praying that it didn't work. But guess what? We know that it does. And a lot of times that is based on someone who doesn't have a strong sense of self-worth or connection to their purpose in life, or just an understanding that being by myself is not the worst thing I can be. All of us want attention and companionship and affection, and sometimes we take on situations that we know are not going to be long-term or not even healthy, but it's just that sometimes we be like, I just want somebody to pay me some attention.
That's it.
That's cool. But if somebody is degrading you for you to get that breadcrumb, oh no,
you can leave that.
Bye.
Leave that.
But overall, those messages make my skin itch. When I sent them to you, I was like, I don't even know if we can talk about it because it's just one of those things that, like, he ain't the only one. He's just the one that we hear messages today. It's some men right now, several hundreds and thousands and many, that are interacting with women on this mindset of, what you gonna do? You ain't got nothing going on for you. You gonna take whatever I give you and you gonna like it. And they getting aroused in some kind of way from trying to pursue a woman that they claim is beneath them. That probably go back to the slave master and the slave child.
It could be.
Let's not go too deep with it, but it's something about you.
That's true though.
But you in the big house and you got a wife who has access to soap and water and hygiene, and you will still go out to the slave quarters. You see what I'm saying? To take that, which is not yours, which I know is not fresh and clean and proper, as you would say. And you can still take that. So it's deep. It's sad. It's sad. All right, let us know what y'all think. Have you had somebody try to come at you like in a way that like, whoa, bro, what you think about me? Don't think because I got these kids that I ain't got no standards. Don't think because I got a few extra pounds I ain't got no standards. Don't think because I live over here with my grandma that I ain't got no standards. Let's be clear.
Right.
Let's be clear.
Right.
So it's a lot of different things that men will attach to and think, oh, well, this is the best she gonna be able to do. Never know. As long as I am a woman, my thing gonna be all right. Be clear. Whew, pressure, get back up again. Y'all let us know what you think. Comment. Don't forget, like, share. We have had a wonderful season. We're in season 3. We probably have a couple of more weeks of some new episodes. So, but if you guys have anything you want to talk about, or sometimes you may come across a video or a topic, send it to us because we either have seen it and forgot that we were supposed to talk about it, or we hadn't seen it yet. So we would love to get some of your suggestions as well. In the meantime, and in between time, oh no, he didn't.
Earl, yes, he did.
How come I can't see where it says stop at? I'm like, oh my God, was that okay? There it is.